keiki. Now the song they're going to do is called the Luau song, and it's all about catching a lot of fish by stretching a big net across the bay and getting the whole village to pull the net closer and closer into shore. Tied to the net are these leaves, just like these hula skirts. In fact, it looks like a giant hula skirt, that are going to frighten the fish away from the net. And so as the net gets closer and closer to the people on shore, the fish are running straight to the people on shore, trying to get away from that shadow. And that's what the Luau song is all about. And one and two. Oh, we're going.
Everybody loves the Luau, where the Luau is the cocoa and a big Luau. Oh, it's going that's out into the sea, and all the Amma comes swimming too. Oh, we're going to Luau. It's a wonderful day for fishing. The old Hawaiian way.
1, 2, 3.
Long, let's go swishing. Now we won't let's go faster. Oh, we're going to Okinawa. Okinawa. Everybody loves Okinawa. And the Luau is the cocoa and the big Luau. Oh, it's gorgeous out into the sea. And all the Amma comes swimming too. Oh, we're going to Okinawa. Okinawa. Oh, what a wonderful day for fishing. The old Hawaii.
1, 2, 3.
And Okinawa, let's go swishing. Down in Hawaii and a little faster. Oh, we're going to Okinawa. Okinawa. Everybody loves Okinawa, where the Luau is the cocoa and the big Luau. Oh, it's gorgeous out into the sea, and all the Amma comes swimming too. Oh, we're going to Okinawa. Okinawa.
Big hand for the keiki of the Kona village. We begin with an oli. An oli is a chant, and this particular chant says to ehomai, bring to me the secret, sacred knowledge that is held within our chants, so that we can come to a better understanding of who we are and the continuation of our culture. And we also will begin with the ancient dance, the hula kahiko. Perform the songs and dances that honor the gods and the other the chiefs. Tonight, our Kane perform for you two ancient style chants. The first is Kavika, a name chant that honors the last reigning king of Hawaii, David La'amea Mahinulani Kalakaua, who chose to ignore the missionary-imposed ban against the performance of hula in public. They follow that with Ule Pahuitamotu, which describes the arrival of foreigners to our shores in the great ships with the tall masts and the billowy sails. But first, Kavika, Eo.
Hey, you know, Kavika, kaheke na pua, hey, you know, Kavika, kaheke na pua, Kawila makikina, malamala mahava, Kawila makikina, malamala mahava, Kuye kalono pelekani, Olohe kuini okolani, Kuye kalono pelekani, Olohe kuini okolani, Navai tapua iluna Paakea mama kua Navai tapua iluna Paakea mama kua Haina mega puana Kalani kavika hinoala Haina mega puana Kalani kavika hinoala Haeala ia
Hey, no, Right? Ule, oh, we come out too.
Ule kuitamotu Nui keleala Ae kuitamotu Hohi oloka E kuvalenati Asamaina hailo Hemana holo itamotu Ulilia haule E koi kahoi uli E kohei kapalika E kui kamoku E puai kikoa E kui keiala E huiga ewe Ule pakuita motu Unui kaleala E pakuita motu Uhohi oloka E kuvalenaki Atamaina hailo Hemana holo ita motu Ulilia haule E koi uli E kohei kapalika E kui kamoku E po ai kikoa E kui keiala E huiga ewe Ahemea ho
Hey, no, ule, oh. Wally.
According to our Mulalo, as our stories passed down from generation to generation, Pele was not originally from Hawaii. She was actually born in Tahiti. But because of her eruptive, volatile nature, her father was forced to exile her away from her home. He gave her a canoe to make this journey, and she finally settled upon the island of Hawaii in the crater known as Kilauea. This otea remembers the voyage Pele made from Tahiti to Hawaii. accompanied by a number of her brothers and sisters. Most notably was her younger sister, Hiyaka, who was not even born yet. She made the journey in the form of an egg that Pele wore around her neck like a necklace for safekeeping. Once Kelly arrived at Kilauea, the egg was open and Hiyaka was born. She grew to be a beautiful young lady who made her home in Kona, among the blue forests and olive groves, and with her good friend Luau. One day after Kelly awoke from a very vivid dream of a handsome young chief of Luau, Kelly felt a strong desire to meet him. No longer able to make such a journey herself, she called for her beloved sister Hiyaka to make this journey for her and bring Luau back to Kilauea. Knowing the volatile nature of her sister, Hiyaka had Pele promised not to harm her home in Kona and to hold safe her dear friend Lokoi. So the promise was made. But the journey took longer than anticipated, as it was full of much danger and distractions, and Pele grew angrier and angrier. Just as Hiyaka brings Luau over the ridge into Kilauea, Hiyaka witnessed the full force of Pele's anger as Pele sent river upon river down into Kona, destroying all, turning all to stone, including Hiyaka's friend Lokoi. This is Hiyaka's lament as Lokoi receives her fate in sorrow.
Malamage ka mo ipo hau hau we hau hau we hau hau we vela o kilawe vela o puna wa ai ki ahi a vele malamage ka malamage lewa malamage ka mo ipo hau hau we Pole o pele. Hau hau we. Hau hau we. Hau hau we.
Now the transition from Kahiko to Awana occurs pretty much to two nearly simultaneous events that happened in our history. The first was when Kamehameha II, the new king, declared that the gods were dead, thereby changing a way of life forever. Then, a few months later, came the arrival of these 7 men and their wives, all the way from New England, and they are known as the missionaries. And not only did they bring with them a new religion, but they also brought with them a new form of music, one that the Hawaiians truly loved dearly. In fact, they were taking some of their beloved chants and converting them into this new form of music, the hymns. In fact, they even had to invent a word to describe the type of singing they were doing, and so they used himene to describe this. Now, a few years after that came the arrival of these gentlemen from Monterrey, Mexico, and they came at the request of now Kamehameha III, who realized pretty early on that we were having a problem with this lovely gift that George Vancouver left behind in the 1790s, and that was he left 6 cows and a bull, and got a promise from the king then that no harm could come to them for 10 years. So after 10 years of no harm, and you got 6 cows and a bull, you end up with a whole lot of cow out there. And so they became quite a menace, these pigs with iron ears, and something had to be done. So he had heard that these gentlemen from Monterrey, Mexico had been managing cattle for quite some time. So he invited a group to come to Hawaii to teach our Hawaiians how to be cattle people, cattle men. And they came speaking Espanol, but the Hawaiians heard it as Paniolo. And so Paniolo became the name for not only who they were, but what they did. And so that is our word for cowboy. Interesting bit of history, the word cowboy wouldn't be invented for another 42 years. And so we've had cowboy traditions long before the Wild West. But we'd like to honor these men and these women, our Hawaiian Paniolo, the cowboys of the far west.
Yeah.
was written by Queen Kapi'olani, the wife of the last reigning king of Hawaii, David La'amea Mahinulani Kalakaua. She wrote this while he was away in San Francisco seeking medical attention. In it, she describes and compares her husband to the beautiful red-feathered iiwi bird that lives up in the forest but flies up to the highest of heights, for he is the exalted one. Unfortunately, he never got to hear this beautiful song, for he died in San Francisco. So it's known as the song of the bird that flew away, never to return. He could speak 6 languages fluently, 11 by reading and writing. He was the first sovereign king of a sovereign nation to circumnavigate the globe, making treaties along the way with other sovereign nations. He's also the first to bring the telephone west of the Rockies, and he outfitted his home at Iolani Palace with the electric light. And this is while the White House was still using gas lanterns. So we'd like to pay homage to this merry monarch, this Renaissance man, so that we can enjoy the music that he loved the best. First the march, and then the song that compares them with the brilliance of the sun.
Walala, ku'e, 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 mama kakao, hana, hana, ku'e. Walala, ku'e, 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 mama kakao, no, niki, ku'e. Ku'e, 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 ku'e. Mama kakao, no, niki, koa, ki pulani, ka mama kakao, mama ope, ku mama ope, o kai no walala, ku'e, ku'e. Kapuka o kua, o pakoe.
Hi,
introducing Hawaii to the world. It's bringing people from all over by ship in a new time. Turn of the century, we're looking at the 1920s, 30s, and 40s. And guess what the musical rage is across America at that time? Right? It's jazz and it's swing. And just like the Hawaiians, as they were taking the chants and converting them into this hymn, they also took the chants and started jazzing them up. And you can hear it in the music, kind of a swing beat now. Okay? And so when the people came to the islands, it wasn't because it was a pit stop anymore. It was an actual destination. People wanted to come here. And so when they came in by ship, they were greeted by the people of Hawaii. They were also greeted by the beautiful smells of the flowers, because it was said that you could smell the islands, the flowers that is, long before you even saw the islands. Can you imagine a time like that? Now, try to picture yourselves on the docks, and you're waiting for the ship to come in. Or better yet, you're on that ship. It's your first trip to Hawaii. And you're coming in, you're looking at the beautiful emerald hills overlooking the harbor. And you're seeing the musicians down there. You're hearing the joyful sounds, the music of Hawaii. And you're seeing the beautiful hula girls dancing their hearts out. But we also have, as you walk off the gangplank onto the shore, a lei greeting just for you. How many of you expected that when your first trip to Hawaii came and you came on the plane? Yeah? Usually there's a few hands that expected, where's my lei? Where's my lei? Yeah? Well, that comes from that era. But you know, at that time, we got a couple of thousand a month. Now we get a couple of thousand every 15 minutes. So I don't think we can keep up, you know? But we like to remember that day, that very nostalgic time, and what many of our visitors think of as real Hawaiian music. It's Boat Day. Next stop, it's Kona.
Hano, hano, ora boy kalari, boy na no kay kamali, boy na may kamakakaya bua, ode no, luai liga kuai, kona ga bua, kai mo kioki, kai, mali no a okona, kai, mali no a okona, kai. Marina Oko, Hahawa, Hahawa, Kaiwaiwaila, Ura, Tutuura, Tutuura, Emewaila, Hahawa, Kaiwaiwaila, Ura, Tutuura, Tutuura, Emewaila.
Boat Day, Kona Village style. Now I'd like to share with you another mo'olelo. Now to many people, especially the early writers, They saw our mo'olelo as being cute little myths and legends, but with no substance to them. But to us as Hawaiians and Polynesians, we think of the mo'olelo as our history. And so I'd like to share with you one piece of history. In about 1,000 years ago, there was a gentleman that came all the way from Samoa. His name was Pa'au. And expecting to find an army, what he eventually found in these islands was pretty much farmers and fishermen. And he just happened to bring an army with him. And so he took over, you know. But it changed the way of life, you know, up until that time. They were mostly farmers and fishermen, but he brought in a whole different way of chiefs and how important they were, and all the kapu, or the restrictions involving the chiefs, and all the rest that went with it. And he also felt that he needed to bring one person who was of a pure line, a pure chiefly line. And he felt that would be his brother, not himself, but his brother. So he brought his brother all the way from Ta'u, and he brought him in and installed him as the chief. So every chief that ever existed since that time can trace their lineage to his brother. But he became the main head of the religion at that time, and he was the high priest. And so from that point, or every high priest that ever existed can trace their lineage to him. Now you're probably wondering what this is on my shoulder. This is not a cricket bat. This is a nifo'oti, a typical war club in Samoa. And you know, when they came, they probably came with a number of things like this, and they settled upon the northern part of this island and named it Upolu. And if you're familiar with Samoa, Upolu is the main island, and but it's also our northern point. And so when he came, we would like to honor this time period because the Samoans have a hula too, except they call it the ma'ulu'ulu. And the dances of Samoa, they represent similar things, similar themes that we have in Hawaii. And that is the love and respect for the places and the people and the things that we care about, and a general joy of life. So they're going to perform two dances of the ma'ululu. The first is a stick dance, and the second one is a love story dance. And then the third one is probably the opposite realm of a love story dance, and that is this dance, the nifo'oti. And I'll explain more about the nifo'oti shortly, but we're going to perform for you the ma'ululu.
Arriba, Samoa!
was going to explain more about the Nifoti. Nifoti started off as a club similar to this, and they would carve teeth or even put shark teeth on the edge. It was used for cutting, definitely an implement of warrior. And they would also make a very sharp hook at the end for grabbing. And then they would practice their moves with twirling it above their heads, twirling it between their feet, throwing it up, catching it behind their backs. And this thing is heavy. And so they would practice this like this, but then once the steel-bladed knife was introduced to Samoa, they did away with the club part, but they kept the cutting blade, right? And they kept the sharp hook. And if that wasn't hard enough, they decided they're going to raise the level of difficulty by adding fire to it. Now, fire is a very dangerous entity, but between you and me, I still fear the knife more, because not only is the hook still there in the cutting blade, but now it's a hot-bladed knife. So I'd like to introduce you all to our own practitioner of this art form. Put your hands together for Kahakai! moves, man. Well,
I heard you.
now we visited all through time, and now we come to today. Today's time, today's music. The influences still continue. You know, Hawaiians are very adaptable people, especially when it comes to our music. And even if it's reggae, or what they call Hawaiian music, or rock and roll, or beautiful ballads, it's still incorporated into our whole thing of what is we consider the music and the hula. And as long as the songs that are being produced, they don't even have to be in the language. As long as the songs that are being produced express the love and respect for the people, the places, and the things that we care the most about, then we consider that Hawaiian music. One such song actually challenges us to really see the islands, you know, because there's so many different aspects of this place. It's incredible. And another song, although it's written in an old-fashioned style, it's still a modern song, and it describes the making of a lei, the wearing of a lei, and the presentation of a lei is all an expression of love.
Have you seen these islands? Have you seen the beauty of its land? Do you know its people? Brothers, sisters are walking hand in hand. Have you seen the ocean? Miles and miles of crystal deep sea. Can you smell the flowers? Fill the air with fragrances for free. This is all over. This is all over. This is all over. This land of Hawaii. Have you felt the power? Okay, okay, aloha. Mountain craters throwing lava in the air. With its green sweat beauty. Okay, okay, aloha. From which island blossoms everywhere. Have you felt its spirit? Ancient gods, their mana still lives here. Colored rainbows stretch across the sky. Waterfalls so high, mountains making bright. You will love these islands. Okay, okay, aloha. Nothing in the world can compare. If you touch the spirit, okay, okay, aloha. The gift of love will lead you here. This is aloha. This is aloha. This is aloha. This land of Hawaii. Have you seen these islands?
Oh, hey,
So you've seen and you've heard all about Hawaiian music, all about the hula, how it began, how it went through the ages, and how it will still continue. And so we'd like to thank you all for coming along on this journey with us through Hawaii's history. I also would like to thank one more time our very own fire dive dancer, Kakai. And our extremely hardworking musicians on the floor with guitar and all those drums you see before him. That's Nephi, he's our lead drummer. And behind him, also on drums, assisting him with all the beautiful sounds and rhythms, playing from our own shipwreck bar is Sid. And on upright bass, we have Auntie Kaipo. On ukulele, we have the songbird Rolinda. And our lead guitar musical director and very handsome bellman is Uncle Clyde.
Hello, everybody.
And one more time, the beautiful men and women of Hawaii.
And ladies and gentlemen, let us not forget our fabulous mistress of ceremony, big hand for Auntie Lonnie. Auntie Lonnie, everybody.
Mahalo to you all. But, you know, we don't really like saying goodbye. We hate that word. We prefer to use the phrase, see you again or until we meet again. And in Hawaiian, it's aloha